Hare Krishna, Sanjay here, and honestly, this is the part of the Gita that quietly reshapes how you see your own daily life. Krishna is not talking about grand gestures today, he is talking about the ordinary done extraordinarily. Chapter 4, Part 3, Life as Sacrifice from Food to Focus, Scenes 421 to 430. Let's step in together. Introduction: The Sacredness of Ordinary Life. Scene: The field of Kurukshetra is still silent, waiting for its storm. Yet in this stillness, Krishna continues to reshape Arjuna's understanding of life. He has shown him how action can be purified by intention, how freedom is not escape but clarity. Now Krishna deepens the vision by revealing another lens: sacrifice. Not the narrow meaning of ritual offerings into fire, but the wider truth that life itself can become yajna, a sacred offering. Arjuna knew yajna as part of Vedic culture. The fire altar was central. Grains, clarified butter, chants, and prayers were offered to the gods, and in return blessings came in rain, harvest, and prosperity. But Krishna expands this meaning beyond ritual. Every act of discipline, learning, restraint, generosity, or meditation can be yajna when offered with sincerity. This turns life from a cycle of consumption into a cycle of contribution. The battlefield itself can become an altar when duty is performed as offering. Then, in ancient times, yajna was understood as the very fabric of existence. The universe itself was seen as a cosmic sacrifice, the sun offering light, rivers offering water, trees offering fruit, parents offering love. Human beings were invited to participate in this rhythm by offering back through study, service, self-control, or ritual. Krishna lists many such sacrifices. Some sacrifice wealth by giving to others, some sacrifice senses by practicing restraint, some sacrifice breath in practices of pranayama, some sacrifice mind in the fire of study and meditation. The forms differ, but the essence is the same. To live in offering is to live in harmony. This teaching also answers Arjuna's fear that his battle is dirty while only renunciation is pure. Krishna shows that purity is not about form but about spirit. Fighting with selfishness is sin. Fighting as offering is yajna. Even the clash of swords can be holy if the heart is free from ego. The battlefield becomes an altar when the warrior fights for dharma. Now, this truth is breathtakingly relevant. In our world, many think of spirituality as confined to temples, monasteries, or rituals. Krishna widens the scope. Cooking a meal with love, teaching a child with patience, breathing with awareness, sharing wealth with kindness, focusing the mind in study, all of these can be sacrifices. The sacred is not hidden in forests alone. It is present in kitchens, classrooms, offices, hospitals, and battlefields. The real question is not what you do, but whether you do it as offering. We live in a culture that glorifies consumption. The question is usually, what can I get? Krishna flips it. The question becomes, what can I give? This shift transforms life. Eating becomes sacred when you honor the food as divine energy. Work becomes sacred when you offer it for the welfare of others. Even rest becomes sacred when it is aligned with purpose. Sacrifice is not loss, it is alignment with the eternal rhythm of giving and receiving. Focus. The focus of this section is clear. Make daily acts sacred. Do not see yajna as only fire and ritual. See it in study, in discipline, in breath, in generosity, in attention. Every moment of life can be an altar if lived with sincerity. Arjuna is being shown, and we are reminded that liberation is not elsewhere. It is here, in the very acts we already perform, when we choose to live them as offerings. Scene 4.1. Content in duty, free in spirit. Scene. Krishna describes the wise worker, he who is content with whatever comes by chance, free from envy, balanced in success and failure, though engaged in action, is never bound. Then, this is a portrait of freedom in the midst of responsibility. The sage does not run away from action. He acts, but his heart is free. He does not chase results with greed, nor sulk in loss with despair. He receives what comes as prasad, sacred offering, and remains balanced. He has no envy, no restless comparison with others. He does not hoard success, nor is he crushed by failure. Action flows through him like wind through space, leaving no bondage. Arjuna hears that he too can embody this, a warrior who fights but remains inwardly free. Now, how strikingly this applies today. Modern life thrives on comparison. We measure ourselves by who has more wealth, status, recognition. We chase outcomes and despair when they slip. Krishna's wisdom is a remedy. Freedom is not about avoiding work, it is about shifting spirit. A teacher may give lessons daily, not for fame, but because teaching is offering. A doctor may heal, not for applause, but for service. A worker may labor, not for greed, but for sincerity. Such people act, yet remain unbound. They live with lightness even in heavy roles. Focus, be content in duty, free in spirit. Let results come and go. Balance, not bondage, is the mark of wisdom. Scene 4.32, equal in gain and loss. Scene. Krishna continues, he is steady, having abandoned attachment. He is equal in success and failure. Though he acts, he is not bound. Then Arjuna is being told again what he struggled with earlier. Success and failure are not in his control. He can control effort, not outcome. Bondage comes when the heart clings to outcome. Freedom comes when one acts with detachment. The wise see success as blessing, failure as lesson, both as passing waves. They stand steady, not tossed about. For Arjuna, this is liberation. He can fight the battle, but remain untouched by its swings. Victory or defeat no longer enslave him. Duty, not outcome, becomes his compass. Now, this truth speaks directly to our restless age. We are obsessed with results, grades in school, promotions at work, likes on social media. Success makes us arrogant, failure makes us broken. Krishna's wisdom offers a higher way. Focus on sincerity, not outcome. Equal-mindedness does not mean indifference, it means clarity. You work fully, but you do not sell your peace to results. Imagine the calm of living this way, doing your best, then releasing the rest. It is the antidote to anxiety. Focus, success and failure are waves. Let them come, let them go. Act sincerely, release results, and stay steady in freedom. Scene 4.3, action as offering. Scene, Krishna declares, one whose actions are free from desire and whose work is offered as sacrifice, all his actions melt away. Then, here Krishna ties action with yajna. Action done with desire leaves residue like seeds that sprout into more craving and karma. But action done as offering leaves no trace. It melts like camphor in fire. The wise do not stop acting, but they dedicate every act to the divine. Cooking, fighting, teaching, farming, all can be sacrificed when done without selfishness. Arjuna sees that his battle can become yajna, his arrows can be offerings when shot for dharma, not for ego. His war, rightly oriented, leaves no bondage. Now, this verse transforms ordinary life for us. Work does not need to be heavy. If done with selfishness, it binds. If done as offering, it purifies. A parent cooking for family, a student studying sincerely, a nurse tending patients, an engineer designing systems, each can turn work into yajna by offering it. This requires only a shift of heart. Do it for service, not just for gain. Do it as offering, not just transaction. Then every act, however small, becomes part of the sacred cycle. Focus. Treat your work as offering. When you dedicate every act, you are free. The weight of duty melts in the fire of devotion. Scene 4.24, the world as yajna. Scene, Krishna offers a profound image. For him who sees Brahman everywhere, the act of offering, the oblation, the fire, and the sacrificer are all Brahman. Then, this is the climax of yajna. The wise see no separation. The offering itself is Brahman. The fire that consumes it is Brahman. The priest who offers is Brahman. The recipient is Brahman. All is one, all is sacred. The entire universe is yajna. Eating food, breathing air, teaching wisdom, fighting battles, all are sacred acts when seen through this vision. For Arjuna, this dissolves his duality. His battle is not dirty, his bow is not sinful. If he acts with this vision, the whole battlefield becomes an altar, every act a sacred flame. Now, this vision has the power to transform our world. Imagine if we saw every act as sacred. Cooking would be prayer, not chore. Work would be worship, not drudgery. Giving would be joy, not loss. Even receiving would be gratitude, not greed. When the divine is seen in all roles, the giver, the receiver, the process itself, life becomes whole. Nothing is outside the sacred. This dissolves the illusion that spirituality is confined to temples or rituals. The world itself is temple, life itself is yajna. Focus, see Brahman in all, offering, fire, giver, receiver, all are divine. Live this vision and every act becomes sacred. Scene 4.25 Sacrifice through ritual and knowledge. Scene Krishna says, some yogis perform sacrifice to the gods while others offer sacrifice into the fire of Brahman alone. Then Arjuna is shown two streams of sacrifice. One is traditional ritual, where offerings of grain, ghee, and prayers are poured into sacred fire to honor deities. This was the visible form of yajna in Vedic culture. The other is higher, more subtle, the offering of all action, all study, all meditation into the fire of Brahman, the eternal reality. In this way, life itself becomes sacrifice. Krishna is showing Arjuna that forms may differ, but the essence is one. Whether through ritual or inner offering, the purpose is alignment with the divine. Now, this teaching speaks directly to our diverse spiritual landscape. Some people find meaning in rituals, festivals, and outer worship. Others find it in study, meditation, and inner devotion. Modern seekers often argue over which is superior. Krishna's wisdom dissolves such debate. What matters is sincerity. Whether you light a lamp or meditate in silence, whether you serve in temple or serve in society, the essence is the same, offering yourself to the higher. When life is lived as offering, all paths converge. Focus. Respect the diversity of sacrifice. Outer rituals and inner devotion both have place. The essence is this: offer yourself wholly and every path leads to Brahman. Scene 426 Sacrifice of the Senses. Scene Krishna explains, some offer the senses themselves into the fire of restraint. Others offer sound and objects of the senses into the fire of the senses. Then Arjuna is now taught of subtler yajnas. Some seekers restrain the senses, offering them into discipline. They control sight, taste, touch, sound, and smell, not by repression, but by mastery. Others channel the senses rightly, offering their objects into awareness. Instead of being enslaved by pleasure or pain, they transform perception into worship. A gaze of compassion, a word of truth, an act of kindness, these become offerings. In this way, the senses, which usually bind, become gateways to freedom. Now, this truth is powerful for us. In modern life, senses are constantly overstimulated. Screens flood eyes and ears, foods tempt tongues, endless noise distracts minds. Most people are slaves of senses, dragged into restlessness. Krishna points us to another way. Turn senses into sacrifice. Restrain where needed. Eat mindfully, listen with care, see with awareness, or offer the very objects into awareness. See beauty as divine, hear sound as sacred, taste food with gratitude. In both ways, the senses become tools of yoga rather than chains of craving. Focus. Do not be a slave to senses. Restrain them with discipline or transform them into offerings. When the senses serve the sacred, life becomes steady and free. Scene 427 Sacrifice of Breath. Scene Krishna continues. Others offer the functions of the senses and breath into the fire of self-discipline, restraining the outgoing and incoming breath. Then, here Krishna points to pranayama, the discipline of breath. In Vedic and yogic practice, breath was seen as the bridge between body and mind. By offering breath into breath, slowing, pausing, balancing, the seeker makes life itself a sacrifice. The restless mind quiets, the senses settle, and the fire of awareness grows. Arjuna, a warrior, is being told that even the act of breathing can become yajna when done with consciousness. It is not only great rituals, but even the rhythm of inhale and exhale that can be sacred. Now, how timely this is today. In a world of anxiety, burnout, and stress, the power of conscious breathing is rediscovered by science and psychology. Breath calms the nervous system, clears the mind, and roots us in the present. Krishna's teaching is timeless. Every breath can be offering. Each inhale a gift received, each exhale a gift returned. Whether in meditation, in daily work, or even on a battlefield, breath can be steady sacrifice that purifies. This turns the most ordinary act of living into the highest act of yoga. Focus. Your breath is not ordinary. Each inhale and exhale can be offering. Breathe with awareness, and even the act of living becomes sacrifice. Scene 428. Sacrifice of wealth, austerity, and study. Scene, Krishna explains, some sacrifice wealth, others sacrifice through austerity, and still others sacrifice through study and pursuit of knowledge. Then, Arjuna is shown that yajna takes many forms beyond ritual fire. Some offer wealth, giving generously to uplift others. Charity is their sacrifice, wealth flowing as service rather than hoarded as greed. Others choose austerity, restraining pleasures and comforts, sacrificing indulgence to sharpen discipline. Their simplicity itself becomes offering. Still others sacrifice through study and pursuit of truth. They devote energy to learning scriptures, reflecting on wisdom, questioning and meditating. Their sacrifice is not material but mental, a steady burning away of ignorance. In all these, the common essence is offering. Whatever is most precious to each person becomes the firewood placed on the altar of the divine. Now, this speaks directly to our lives. Some people are gifted with resources. Their path is generosity, building schools, feeding the hungry, supporting noble causes. Others are drawn to simplicity. Their strength is restraint, refusing excess, living lightly, showing by example that happiness is not in possessions. Others thirst for wisdom. Their contribution is study, reflection, and teaching, keeping the flame of knowledge alive. All three are needed in society. When combined, they nourish communities and sustain dharma. Krishna's teaching dismantles pride. No one path is higher. What matters is sincerity of offering. Focus. Whatever you value most, offer it. Wealth, comfort, knowledge, turn them into sacrifice. When given sincerely, each becomes a step toward freedom. Scene 429. Sacrifice of breath and vital energies. Scene, Krishna continues. Others, devoted to breath control, offer the outgoing breath into the incoming breath and the incoming into the outgoing, restraining the flow of life force. Then, this expands the vision of pranayama. The yogi balances prana, the life force, through conscious breathing. By restraining and directing breath, he offers each inhale and exhale as sacrifice. Outgoing breath is placed into incoming, incoming into outgoing. Balance replaces restlessness. The sacrifice is subtle, internal, invisible, but it is powerful. For Arjuna, this shows that even within the body, sacrifice is possible. He does not need to see only outer rituals. The very act of breathing can become yajna when infused with awareness. Now, this practice resonates strongly with modern science. Breathing exercises calm anxiety, regulate emotions, and energize the body. People who master breath find resilience in stress, clarity in chaos, and steadiness in challenge. Krishna's teaching elevates this to spiritual level. Breath is not only health, it is worship. Each cycle becomes an offering, a reminder of the rhythm of life. Even in the busiest moments, you carry an altar within, the breath that rises and falls. Make it conscious and you live yajna every moment. Focus. Breath is the inner sacrifice. Each inhale and exhale can be offering. Make breathing conscious and the life force itself becomes worship. Scene 430. The many paths of sacrifice. Scene. Krishna concludes this list. Others offer their food, or their senses, or their vital energies, or their study of scriptures, or their austerities into the fire of yoga. Thus, all perform sacrifices of many kinds. Then, this verse gathers all streams into one river. Krishna shows Arjuna that yajna is not narrow. Some offer food, honoring it as sacred energy. Some discipline senses, offering restraint. Some regulate breath, offering vital force. Some study scriptures, offering thought. Some practice austerity, offering body and comfort. All are sacrifices, all are forms of yoga. The variety is vast, but the spirit is one. Life itself is sacrifice when aligned with awareness and sincerity. Arjuna is reminded he does not need to envy sages in forests. His battle too can be yajna if done in the same spirit. Now, this vision is revolutionary for us. Too often spirituality is boxed into one practice. Some say only prayer counts, others only meditation, others only charity. Krishna frees us from such narrowness. Whatever you do sincerely, aligned with discipline and offering, becomes yoga. Cooking with gratitude, working with dedication, breathing with awareness, studying with humility, each is yajna. There is no part of life that cannot be sacred if done with the right spirit. This removes excuses. You need not wait for perfect conditions. You can start now in the very life you live. Focus. All life can be yajna. Choose your form service, study, breath, restraint, work, and live it as offering. When sincerity guides, every act becomes sacred. Closing summary. Life is sacrifice, from food to focus. Scene. The armies still wait on Kurukshetra, but the battlefield has already transformed into a cosmic altar. Krishna has lifted Arjuna's vision from the immediate clash of warriors to the eternal rhythm of yajna, sacrifice. Arjuna hears that the universe itself is sacrifice, the sun offering light, the rivers offering water, the trees offering fruit, the parents offering love. Human beings too are invited into this flow, not by escape, but by living daily life as offering. The battlefield is no longer only a field of war, it is a field of sacred action. Then Krishna has woven together a tapestry of sacrifices. He began with the portrait of the wise worker, content in duty, free in spirit, equal in gain and loss. Scenes 421-422. Such a person acts without envy, without clinging, and remains free. Their life itself becomes sacrifice. Krishna then explained that actions done as offering melt away, leaving no bondage. Scene 423. Even ordinary duties become yajna when performed without selfishness. He then lifted the vision higher, to the one who sees Brahman everywhere. The offering, the fire, the priest, and the recipient are all divine. Scene 424. This cosmic view dissolves separation. All life is sacred when seen through this lens. Krishna then described many forms of sacrifice, ritual offerings into fire, sacrifices of wealth, of senses, of breath, of knowledge, of austerity. Scenes 425-430. Each is a path, each is valid, each purifies when performed sincerely. The diversity is not contradiction but harmony. All flow into the same truth. Life aligned with offering is life aligned with yoga. For Arjuna, this radically changes the meaning of his battle. His war can be sin if fought with selfishness, but it can also be yajna if fought with clarity, duty, and offering. His bow can be as sacred as a priest's ladle, his arrows as sacred as offerings of grain, his battlefield as sacred as a temple altar. The form matters less than the spirit. Now, this teaching is striking for our time. We live in a world that glorifies consumption. The questions are often, what can I get? What more can I own? Krishna flips the question, what can you give? What can you offer? The spirit of yajna turns life from greed to gratitude, from taking to contributing. This vision also dissolves the false divide between sacred and ordinary. Too often spirituality is confined to temples, rituals, or meditation cushions. Krishna widens the circle, cooking with love, teaching with patience, working with integrity, breathing with awareness, studying with humility, sharing wealth generously. Each can be sacrifice. The altar is not only in a temple, it is in the kitchen, the office, the classroom, the hospital, even the battlefield. Every human activity can become yoga when infused with offering. Think about this in daily life. A parent cooking for children can see the food as offering, the act as worship. A teacher guiding students can see each lesson as gift, not transaction. A professional at work can dedicate effort not only to salary, but to service of others. Even a breath consciously taken can be offering of life itself. When seen this way, nothing is profane. All is sacred. This teaching also affirms diversity. Not everyone sacrifices the same way. Some give wealth, some restrain senses, some practice austerity, some devote to study, some regulate breath. Each path has value. Each person offers according to nature. What matters is sincerity, not uniformity. This dissolves arrogance. No one can claim their sacrifice is superior. The divine honors all sincere offering. Focus. The essence of this section is simple but transformative. Make daily acts sacred. Do not imagine yajna as fire ritual alone. See it in study, in service, in breath, in work, in generosity. Whatever you do, do it as offering. When motive is pure, life itself becomes altar and every act becomes worship. Arjuna is told and we are reminded that freedom does not require escape. It requires living rightly with clarity and offering. Life as sacrifice is the way to turn every action into yoga, every duty into liberation, every moment into the sacred. A life lived as offering. It sounds ancient, but look around and you may find it is the most modern idea of all. Until our next scene, Hare Krishna.